Hello, everyone, and welcome to another show of Talking Indie Mayhem. I have some great losers and one of them who is no longer a loser to chat with tonight. And I hope you all loved the show. I hope you'll drop a link in the comments and let us know what you thought, and let us know which winner you thought would win. I know we've got a couple of people here watching already. But before we dive into chatting with our winner for tonight, Mr. David Green, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Obviously, I'm a host for this show. I'm also a frequent chat person on the panel for Go Indie Now This Week in Indies. I also have my own YouTube channel, The Chapter Goddess, where I interview authors and chat with them to bring their authentic self out for you guys to see and know more about their books. And I am also an author myself, a fantasy, romance, paranormal kind of mixed genre author. And I have a great book coming out soon. It is 4 books for 99 cents right now on Amazon. It's The Phase Shifters Omnibus, book 1 through 4. But let's bring in our first winner. Hey, David, how's it going?
Yeah. It's so nice to be a winner for once in my life.
Oh, right? And just think, we started this. Me, you, and Karina, we all started together, and here we are again.
Right. Yeah, and we didn't do this back in those days. We didn't have this. So so it's nice to come on as a loser, but also as I'm like the best loser, which is I've been called that many times in my life. So.
Yes, but you got to graduate out of Loser Town.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice. But before I bring in some questions, go ahead and tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and about your latest book you've got coming out.
Yeah, so I live in Ireland. I am kind of Irish, but also kind of English at the same time. So I'm one of those, I don't really belong anywhere, basically. That's me. And I write dark epic fantasy and urban fantasy. And my urban fantasy ones are a bit like, they've been described as like Dresden meets Supernatural. So if you like either of those two things, you might like it. And my epic fantasy ones are kind of like more like traditional, but they've got very, very strong female characters, quite diverse casts, and they're like very kind of character driven, but there's quite epic kind of things. It's epic fantasy, so you kind of have to have something epic going on in there at some point. And I have the second one in that series is coming out on the 15th of July. It was going to be June, but it's now the 15th of July, just to kind of because we just decided to change the covers at the last moment. Just the way we do it, but I'm really excited for it because I think it's a lot better than the first one. I think the first one, people tell me is good. It's got good reviews and everything. People seem to like it, but I think the second one is it's larger scope. It's more epic. It's kind of more intimate moments as well at the same time, and it's something that I'm quite proud of. So I'm looking forward to people getting it.
Sweet. I think we've got a question for you. Robin wants to know, is it disorienting, David, being a winner?
Yes, it is. I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. It's just I asked Madilynn how much she paid Robin and on the first one, so I just matched the same amount. So.
Yes, you got to be sly with it, right, guys? And then Joe says, "Welcome to the club. We all know it. It will be a while before United gives you that feeling."
Right. Yeah. So this is Man United. Joe is a Man City fan. So it's been a while since my team were good. It's been nearly 10 years now. So it's just you get used to losing, I suppose.
And then we've got another person watching tonight, Daniel Myers. Thanks for stopping in. He says, "Good evening. Hope everyone is doing as great as I am today." So now on to some fun clips. There's one I'm going to bring up first because I love how you answered this question. It was the best king of England.
Who was the best king of England, and do you agree? David.
King Arthur was the best king of England, and I agree because he didn't exist, and that is why he was the best king of England.
Spoken like a true Irishman.
That was deep. A lot of layers for that answer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because we are all living in a fantasy world in our heads, and that would probably be the best to have a fantasy king. sometimes.
Right. I think he was pretty good.
Yes. And did that just pop into your head, or was that just like, we're gonna throw it out, whatever, just whatever?
No, I think about King Arthur quite a lot, to be honest with you. It's always kind of there. King Arthur, Arthurian legend stuff was my first thing that I got into in fantasy. You have to kind of class it as fantasy, I suppose. Although when you were growing up in England, people teach it sometimes as real history, and it's like this isn't real. I don't think. I think about it quite a lot. I find it really fascinating. The actual mythology compared to the actual history of it, and seeing it. So it's always there. So as soon as he said king, I was like, oh, King Arthur.
Hey, that works, because I mean that it's all about the crazy chaos in this. So being on the show again, being this and doing it for the second time, I know the first time we all did it together, we had no idea what we were doing. Do you feel like you had a different idea of it going in, and maybe had a strategy?
Yeah, I suppose so. I think the first time I went and did it, I was like, I'm gonna try and actually answer these questions for points. Like, I know the answers to this, so I'll But this time I was like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was it was more fun, and it was just obviously watching a few of the episodes as well and everything like that. You kind of get into the habit of it. But I still think that the first one that we were on was really good. I think it was really funny, because it was just Ron and Robin were both making it up as they went along. Pretty much, it seemed a little bit. There might have been some planning in there at some point, but it was very funny, and we just had a lot of. I can't even remember how long we were recording for that first one.
I don't either. It was a long one. I know that one.
It was like 5 years or something we were doing for.
Well, I do have another clip I'm going to ask you about, and it was between you and Francis.
All right. It's a hot seat question. Francis, ask David a question.
David, how do I get an accent just like yours?
Bullying usually is the way to go with it.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, bullying others or being bullied?
Being bullied. Yeah, I grew up in across. Yeah, I had a different accent when I was younger, and it was kicked and beaten.
I thought it was the other way. I thought David was going to beat Francis up if they ever met.
Right? No.
I can do that if he wants me to do it. I'm available.
With an accent like that, yeah.
First off, I like how Francis was like, yeah, you could definitely beat me up if you'll give me that accent at the end of that. That was hilarious, because I felt like watching that, I was totally not expecting your answer to be that either. So I have to ask, though, was that your first response, or is it something you said to be funny?
Yeah, no, there is a mixture of truth in it as well. I did have a different accent when I was younger. I had an Irish accent. I don't have people not from Ireland think that I have an Irish accent, but I don't. I have a very Mancunian accent, which is Manchester in the UK. But then people from Manchester also think that I don't have that accent anymore either. So it's but yeah, when I was a kid, I kind of had more of a mixed accent and more towards Irish. And then when you're in school with your friends, they're all kind of like, why do you sound different to everyone else? And you kind of have to make it match, which now I moved to a different country, so I just sound completely different to everyone else. So I get asked about my accent all the time. It's all the time. Anywhere that I go, like on the internet or in real life, people are like, where are you from? And I'm like, well, who cares?
And here's, okay, so if I remember this one right, this one's going to be really funny.
Name a celebrity that has been disgraced for their horrible, horrible behavior, whose work you still admire.
Oh.
David?
Ron L Lahr.
Do you want to accept that point, Ron?
10 points.
10 points.
Even though I've been disgraced, he still admires me. So, yeah.
That was perfect, because I love, that's one of my favorite things about doing Talking Indie Mayhem is picking on Ron and RJ. Right. And I love that you were like, Ron L Lahr is the disgraced one.
Yeah.
And so was part of going into recording that episode, was that kind of part of your strategy, was to pick at Ron and RJ a little more?
Oh, Ron, 100%. Like RJ will let him off. You know, he's got more hair than I have, like substantially more hair, so I can't really mock him. But Ron, he has more hair than me, but it's Ron. And the thing about that answer is that I don't even admire him. So
Poor Ron. If you're still watching, Ron, I'm sorry. We still love you.
I use that answer. I don't know. I use that answer a lot. So
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I totally used that idea in another thing we recorded, which will come out soon. It's fun, just kind of hey, Ron L Lahr, or I think I can't remember which episode it was. It was a band name, and it was the Larchettes. I can't remember who came up with that, but it was hilarious, just combining their names together.
You know, I think he deserves it as well.
Yeah, that's what he gets for being friends with us all, right?
Right.
So with going forward into, I think you go into the semifinals now, right?
I believe so.
Are you a little worried about going up against everybody else, or?
You see, the thing is, I'm not worried about going up against anyone else, but I'm concerned about being the only person that will lose twice. Straight away, it's just everyone else is going to lose maybe once, but I will lose twice. So unless I go all the way. So
it's a possibility. Never say never, right?
Yeah. So I will. I will be. It's an unwanted record, So let's hope I don't. Well, obviously, other people will hope that I do lose, but I hope that I don't. That's the only reason that I don't want to lose.
Yeah. Well, David, thank you so much for hopping on Talking Indie Mayhem tonight. I'm gonna let you drop out, and we're going to take a trip down to Loser Town.
Thanks very much.
Hey, Anita.
Hello.
Welcome back. So before we get too far into some questions, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself and your work.
Okay, I'm Anita Stewart. I write under AF Stewart, horror, dark fantasy, and recently released a paranormal steampunk alternate history mystery with ghosts and crazy detectives who like dynamite.
That's kind of a mouthful, but I like it. I love it. It sounds interesting. So what did you think about this show, the second show?
I liked it. I probably may not have been as perky as possible because I was recording at 10 p.m. my time. Cool. But I don't have any excuse because David was recording at 2 a.m.
Yeah, so David was up pretty late too. So that's crazy. Y'all are dedicated.
But I'm going to say he's younger than I am, so it doesn't count.
Yes. So I've got some pretty awesome clips that I want to go. But one, I loved, we talked before the show about the crazy high-pitched voices, how they sped everything up in the lightning round. And I just love how this all turned out. And it may not even have the sped up parts. We're going to find out.
Welcome back, everybody. Make the most accurate pig noises that you can. David. Okay. I don't know. I don't have a pig. What do you think? Should he get a point?
I wasn't that impressed, but anybody got better?
Anita, Francis, your chance to steal. Francis.
Go ahead, Anita. Oh, okay.
You already raised your up. It's too late.
All right.
Yeah, you got the sinuses going on there. Good.
Yeah. Do you need a moment off camera? Anita, are you going to play or just pass?
Pass.
All right. Point to Francis for sure.
Just someone get her some tissues.
All right.
I love that. It just sounds so much better with the high-pitched stuff. Because originally when I watched it and picked out that clip before they added the speed up stuff, so it was awesome. How did you feel about doing the pig noises?
Actually, I blanked. My mind just blanked out about pig noise. How to do a pig noise when I did it, so I just did a little snort.
It was
Because
awesome.
which is bad because I actually play one of those little mobile farm games, so I'm hearing pig noises all the time. So it's like,
I feel like they gotta put you guys on the spot with that one. So, and I've asked them to put more animal noises in there just because they're so
I
fun.
think the animal noises
So-
are fun. It's just that, yeah, I'm not very good at animal noises apparently.
It's fun. They're crazy because there's so many different variations you can go with. But it's just
Yeah. I think my speed's probably a cow. So
cows are definitely more fun. Was it y'all's original show, like the original show you were on, that we did the cow noises? I can't remember. I know one show did. I've
yeah, I
been
don't
so
think it was the
many
one I was
like,
on, but I do remember they did do a cow noise on the.
gosh, so crazy. Okay, let's see. We are gonna pull up another little clip real quick.
Murder gets a lot of bad press. What slogan might help turn things around for murder? Well, I really thought Anita was going to answer first.
Murder, it's what you really want to do.
Yeah,
That's true. Anita?
plausible.
I was gonna say murder, best population control.
Yeah.
Okay,
kind
Fred.
of purgy there.
It is. Francis?
Need a thrill? Go and kill.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
like it.
It's got
I
rhyming.
like it. It's got a yeah. You can dance to it.
I told my wife that question, and she said something about, being cheaper than divorce, I think. So that was a good answer.
Yeah.
And also, I need to shape up, apparently.
Those were great. And like I totally was it was hard to tell if it was you or David that got like their book up first. But that's definitely like your cup of tea, the murder specialist.
Yeah. I keep forgetting to put the book up. That's the problem. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta raise the book.
Yeah, it's hard to remember because you want to like use your hands or just like say the words. Like I think Francis did it a couple of times during the episode. I was just like, oh, that's
Well,
I totally get that.
I'm
It's
used
hard
to
to
watching
remember.
the trivia stuff on the TV and just shouting the answers out at the screen. So yeah.
That's basically kind of like what it is, and it's hard. But another one, because this is also like right in your alley. This clip shows part of because like you can definitely tell you're a horror writer, and I love it. So.
What's your biggest personality flaw? And you'll get more points the more awful it is. And if you try to give yourself a hidden compliment, like you're in a job interview, like, I guess I work too darned hard, or I like people too much, then you're going to lose points.
Is this mandatory for each
It's
other?
mandatory for everybody. Yeah.
All right, Anita.
Yeah, my stabby impulses are probably my worst character flaw.
I
like how
I
you
believe
channeled
you.
them into a positive, avenue, though. David?
Thinking that I can write books and forcing them onto the world.
Delusional.
Yes.
Yes.
Delusions. Yes.
Delusions of grandeur. Yes.
Delusions
Francis?
of adequacy.
I can keep going if you like.
No, we could do a whole show about that, but we need to hear Francis's answer.
My incessant need to lie about everything.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, my thought was,
Yeah.
is that true? I don't know.
No, we don't. Sorry, we don't believe you.
I love the stabby impulses.
Yeah, well, there is a reason why I own dozens of swords and knives. I'm just saying.
Yes. Word of advice, guys: do not break into Anita's house. You will be stabbed.
Yeah, there's actually a knife in almost every room in the house. I'm just
Nice. Yeah, definitely don't break and enter at her place. Nope. So, with this being the last episode, do you think they will pull you on again in the future for another round of Indie Mayhem?
well, that'd be fine. I'm up for it. So
I would totally recommend it too, because it's fun being on the show. You get to horse around, you get to pick the guys, like a lot of fun.
You have to laugh. Just remember not to laugh through the next question.
Yes.
Answer.
I noticed you guys doing that. Like some of you guys would laugh, and like I could not hear part of the question. I'd be like, wait, what did he just ask me? I'd have to go back and be like, oh, that's what that was.
Yeah. Well, the rest of the contestants just have to stop being so funny. That's all.
Yes. So, do you have any words of advice or maybe some moral support for David moving into the rounds go against all the winners from Wintertown?
Just be outrageous like he was on the show there, because I mean that works, and he can freak out everybody else. Just freak out your contestant, your competitors.
Yes. Oh, and Daniel says I have to go, but I really enjoyed this. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye, Daniel. All right. Well, Miss Anita, I'm going to let you drop out, and we are going to bring in one of the guys behind the mayhem. Ron is sick tonight, guys, so we will not be hearing from Ron. Hey, RJ.
Hello.
How's it going? How are you feeling?
I'm good. Good. How are you, Madilynn?
I'm good. So, guys, we found out before the show that Ron is not feeling too great. He had a fun dentist appointment today and is not feeling well. So,
Yeah.
gotta love
No
the
fun.
dentist.
No fun.
So, RJ,
Yes.
how did you feel about editing this episode?
This one was a lot of fun. We had about 20 minutes worth of material to cut to get it down to time, and it was not easy because there were a lot of good things that were like, well, this question's great, but it's a minute and a half, so out it goes. So,
And I liked the hat you chose for that episode too.
oh, thank
Sticking
you.
with the fun hat. So I was like, yay, we got another fun hat when I first started watching it. So out of the three, before you started into the show, who did you think was going to win?
Oh, that's a tough call. David's pretty quick at getting his book up there, but Francis is also pretty on the spot. And Anita was right in there with him. It was touch and go through most of the episode.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I have to agree,
Yeah.
because watching it, I was like, oh man, wow. Oh,
It was
we've got some comments. Joe says hi.
hi.
And then Anita has switched back over. She is breaking down the fourth wall and stepping back through.
Spooky.
I know, right? She was just here. Now she's
And
not.
now she's on YouTube. Oh wait, are we on YouTube and she's in real life? It gets
Ooh,
confusing sometimes.
It does. So I've noticed everybody tends to pick on Ron more than you.
Well, for obvious reasons, yes.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel like it should change a little bit?
Well, I do have 3 children, so I'm used to being picked on, but no, I don't mind. I don't mind if they give it to Ron more.
Yeah.
But I can take it. I can. That is important. So maybe the next time, I think a lot of them are more familiar with Ron.
That
They've
is
been
true.
on these shows with him longer, so they have more material to use. They haven't. They
And
haven't.
Joe says playoffs are coming. So maybe that means we need to pick on RJ a little bit moving forward.
Yeah. Oh, you have an interesting visual phenomenon happening, Madilynn.
Oh, I've got a cat growing out of my head.
There's a cat growing out of your head. It was very unsettling at first.
Yeah, I saw him focus with a head up. I've actually got all of the animals in here with me because they're finishing our fireplace. They are working on it right now. So hopefully none of the loud banging has come through on the speakers.
No, it's been good.
So
yeah, you gotta get home work done when you can, when people will show up.
And with everything, with all the COVID stuff that's been going on, we've actually started this process in November. So, yeah, because it started with the floors and that, and then here we are, finally getting it done. No, you are funnier, RJ, so it's more forgivable.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. It's a fair cop.
Joe, you're not wrong, because we all pick on Ron pretty hard. I think RJ's turn is coming in the future. So I know the next episode is a work in progress.
That's true.
How do you feel that this episode compares to the ones done in the past? I'm not going to compare it to the one coming, but
right. This one was solid. Most of them have really great parts, and some of them are consistent throughout. But you never know. Even when you sit down to edit it, does it all gel? Do people play off each other? You know?
Joe says, "Be funnier, Ron, if you're watching." It's so weird that Ron's not here because he's such a talker when we get to this part. I'm just like, oh, it's so quiet.
This is true. Yes, yes. That has been pointed out to him before, that he can be a little chatty. But
He's a chatty Cathy, as some like to
Yeah.
say, so which is totally okay. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
boys can be chatty Cathys too.
mhm,
It's
yes,
true.
they can. Yes.
We're all for equality.
Yes. So editing, how do you feel about editing the shows? Do you feel like it's gotten easier or more
It's gotten a
difficult?
lot easier, but it's also gotten to the point where I'm like, all right, I should go take like a class on this and really learn these tools because I know how to use about 18 buttons really well. And there's like 1,000 buttons. So I'm almost at 0.2% of the capacity of the software. And yeah, and as my youngest son said, Dad, if you want younger people to watch this, you've got to get much, much better at the editing. Like, all right, son, good to know. So not the writing, the editing is what we need to focus on. So all right.
Gotta love when the kids chime in.
Yeah.
I'm setting myself up for it in the future. What was your favorite question from tonight's show, RJ?
My favorite question, I liked the one where I think Ron asked what your biggest personality flaw was.
Yes.
That one, because you never know when you ask people these things what sort of, and Anita with the stabbiness, like,
Yes.
yeah,
So
yeah, I
fair.
think
And did you hear her say she has knives in every single room of her house?
I did. I will not be breaking into her house in the middle of the night. I will knock loudly first and announce myself.
You can fall and stab yourself on like a katana or something.
Yes,
Trying to
yes,
sneak in through a window. Oof, that would not be pleasant at all.
yeah.
So, with the show moving forward, do you think after this season ends that you guys will change how it goes a little bit or add something to it?
Well, we're certainly gonna take like some time off and evaluate how it's working, what works, what doesn't, figure out how to make it better and better. Because what else is there to do?
That is true. That is true. And Anita has confirmed she has at least 3 katanas.
All right, good. But can you wield all 3 at once?
Ooh, that's very challenging. How would you
Yeah.
hold the third one? 2 in
not
your
sure.
hands? Your foot?
Yeah, you'd have to get a special sort of a prosthetic that would let you hop on one foot and
Oh.
wield the other one.
You could totally turn that into a question in the future.
Yeah.
How would you hold or manage 3 katanas?
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think of the rat question you guys used and the response. I can't remember who it was that said they would use their mouth to drown the rat.
To drown the rat. Yeah, that was disturbing.
Yes, it was.
I don't know what I was looking for that wasn't disturbing, but that was definitely up there.
Yes. So your hat collection, are you adding to the hat collection for the episodes?
I have considered purchasing some more hats. I've taken to recycling my current hat, so I think, and I used to make balloon hats, so that I really need to get me some new balloons and break that out.
That could be fun.
That
You
could
could have a
be-
giraffe hat or like a
Mhm.
little bird hat.
There's so many options with
That's
balloons. It's
true.
literally anything you can imagine. You can.
Joe says that's a nice way of saying that there's a meeting with the boss coming. Ooh, to bump the show some more. 2 in your hands, 1 in your teeth. Go watch One Piece for an example of that. Oh, vicious. Yes. And it was Bob. Bob McGoo said that. Yes. And I said his name right, guys. if you're watching, just yeah. So, well, RJ, thank you for hanging out with me tonight and
Thank
hanging
you
on the
for
show.
hosting again.
And we hope that Ron gets to feeling better. So, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Remember, it is always time to go indie now. Oops.
Yeah.
I clicked the wrong one. And there's no sound.
Oh, wow.
Bye, guys.